everyone, welcome to an affluent IAS. So today we are dealing with the Hindu analysis of 14 January 2025. Today's first article would be inflation falls to a 4-month low in December. Okay, inflation got fallen. Okay, it became decreased in the last 4 months, especially in during the month of December. So how much low we had fallen when it comes to inflation? That is 5.22% from 5.5% in the early November 2024. So India's inflation target would be 4 plus or minus 2%. Okay, 4 plus or minus 2%. That is, inflation is always in between 2 to 6%. Okay, there is a gradual decrease from November to December, and this inflation will be handled by Reserve Bank of India (RBI) through certain monetary policies. Okay, and these monetary policies includes ಕೆಲವೊಂದು monetary policies ಗಳನ್ನ ಹೊಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. So what are those? It includes policy rates. Policy rates includes repo rate, reverse repo rate, and even CRR, cash reserve ratio, and SLR, okay, liquidity ratios and everything. So there is a if inflation is quite high, then this policy rate become increase. Okay, in the same manner, when we do talk about policy rates, it's mainly deals with repo rate and reverse repo rate. Try to remember. Okay, let us see inflation, why inflation will increase and why it decrease. If it increases, what happens? If do decrease, there is a huge fall in the inflation, then what is the criteria? So let's do discuss. When inflation increase, all these rates will be increased. Rates in the sense policy rates, whether it is repo rate and reverse repo rate. We are talking about both rates. RBI will increase these rates to control the inflation. Okay, RBI, what RBI will do? RBI ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ, it will increase as if inflation is increases, then we need certainly to increase the rates, reverse repo rate and repo rate we need to increase to control the inflation. Understood? Again, similarly, now due to fall in, now currently we are seeing a fall in inflation, and India is facing a stagnant economy. Stagnant in the sense we do have a stagflation, constant. There is no kind of constant economy we are getting. Okay, stagflation, that is stagflation in the sense we either had a stagnant economy, in addition to that inflation is also falling. Okay, in order to improve our Indian economy, these repo rates and reverse repo rates, that is also called as policy rates, RBI will decrease. If inflation is decreased, then RBI will reduce or decrease these rates called as repo rate and reverse repo rate, in order to interest rates and loan rates will become automatically decreased once you decrease these policy rates. Understood? And people have enough money if they'll control the inflation. Understood? There is an detrimental increase in the further growth. We can get to see a growth in our economy also. Okay, this is important for economy purpose. Okay, GS3 economy. And next comes at 86.7% to dollar rupee, record sharpest slide in 2 years. That is the lowest point. Rupees is also decreasing. Rupees kuda kadime aagta barutte, because dollar is certainly in turn decreasing. There are lot of investments are going outside of India. That's how even rupees are also falling down. Okay, this is also very important for your economy perspective. And there is a new article for 14 Jan. Prime Minister Narendra Modi opens Zadmore tunnel in Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, silent on statehood. Zadmore tunnel, ಇದೊಂದು ಸುರಂಗವನ್ನ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಲಾಗಿದೆ. So inaugurated where in Zadmore tunnel in the area called as Sonmarg area. So I'll just zoom in. I'll Okay, Zedmo tunnel in Sonmarg area of Gandarbal district. Gandarbal district ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸೋನ್ಮಾರ್ಗ್ ಏರಿಯಾಲಿ ಝೆಡ್ಮೋ ಟನಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ಸುರಂಗವನ್ನ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇನಾಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾರು? ನಮ್ಮ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿ ಅವರು. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿವ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ located in Jammu and Kashmir. This is what is important in this particular article. Okay, next we'll move on to the next important articles. So hope all those three articles are cleared. So here comes an editorial called "The Trump Card: Global Politics and Outcomes for India." This is very futuristic in nature. Like, you know, it may happen, it might happen, it will happen. So it's all about futuristic sort of an article which doesn't have any sense here. So you can skip this particular editorial, though I had read, but will not discuss this particular editorial for the day. Okay, next important editorial we have to discuss is resisting transparency, eroding public interest. So they are talking about transparency and public trust. Where there is a transparency, you will have a public trust. So they are directly proportional to one another. So let's see why they are talking about public trust and transparency. Let's see. ಪಾರದರ್ಶಕತೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಯಾಕೆ ಸಾರ್ವಜನಿಕರ ಒಂದು ನಂಬಿಕೆನ ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸಿ. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ವರ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ highlighting the manipulation in Chandigarh mayor elections. So recently, what happened in Chandigarh's mayor's election, there is a certain issue got happened. Let's see what was that. So last year, presiding officer Anil Masi was caught on CCTV camera manipulating votes in the Chandigarh mayor elections to help the BJP, Bharatiya Janata Party, to secure victory. Okay. Anil Masi, he is a presiding officer of that Chandigarh mayor's elections. What he has done is he had manipulated lots of votes in favor of BJP to secure victory. So this particular incident, what it underlined is hidden lots of illegal activities over there. So it underlined the importance of infusing transparency in the electoral process to detect and prevent the election frauds. We need to prevent all these election frauds. So in order to prevent and detect all these election fraud, we need to have certain transparency in the electoral process. Let's see what was that. There were certain amendment has been done to Rule 93 subsection 2, okay, or clause 2 of conduct of election rules. What was that? The central government amended Rule 93 clause 2. Central government, ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ತಿದ್ದುಪಡಿಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಲಾಗಿದೆ under this particular rule called as 93 subsection 2 to restrict public access to election related records. Whatever the election related records were there, whether it is a CCTV footage or video recordings or form 17C, they do not have any access to it. Okay, public should not have an access towards this. So all these amendments has been done under this particular rule. And earlier Rule 93 subsection 2 or clause 2 has allowed public inspection of all election papers except those specifically exempted. Few of the specific exemptions, ಅಂದರೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಂಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಹೊರತುಪಡಿಸಿ ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ ಎಲ್ಲದರಲ್ಲೂ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಜನರನ್ನು ಭಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓಪನ್ ಟು ಎವ್ರಿ ಒನ್. ಓಕೆ, ದೇರ್ ವಾಸ್ ವಿ ವರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರಿವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ a little transparency over there, but now in this particular new amendment, what they had made, lots of limitations they had made. Now it limits access to only papers specified in these rules. Whatever the now central government made a lot of amendments in this particular rule called as 93 subclause 2, okay, or subsection 2 clause 2. Few of the rules has been specified in these papers. Okay, papers specified in these rules, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಲಾಗಿದೆ ಈ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಅನ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್. limitations has been done in this particular amendment, and this change could be to restrict access to critical records like Form 17C. Public people can't see it. Video recordings we do not have any access, and CCTV footage also we cannot access. So there is a huge restrictions we had got when it comes to election related records. Okay. So what is the way forward? Conclusion. So we need to bring more transparency and public trust. So once we have a transparency, it is a vital role to maintain public trust in the electoral process. ಪಾರದರ್ಶಕತೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದಂತಹ ಅಂಗವಾಗುತ್ತೆ when it comes to public trust. Very important article for the day. And again we do have an important scheme called as PM Kissan. So we can see certain way forward for PM Kissan, a beautiful article altogether. Started off strong, has been providing an assistance to fluctuating numbers of farmers over the past 6 years. Let's see what was the fluctuations we can get to see in this particular scheme. Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana. So this is a scheme, a beautiful scheme for farmers, okay, which provides yearly income support of 6,000 rupees to eligible farmer families in 3 installments. So this particular scheme, it has included a support of 6,000 on the installments level. It will give farmers and kind of a support system, okay, subsidy sort of a thing. Okay, it became operational from December 2018. Okay, and then originally intended for, it was earlier it was given an assistance only to small and marginal farmers, and now it has been extended to all the farmers who own their land. If you have a land, then you are also part of this particular scheme. You can make huge benefits. You can take a huge benefits and use it for the better improvements, or you can use all the benefits whatever prescribed in this particular scheme. Understood? And the government is what government is saying nowadays is it made a clear picture in the parliament that there was no proposal to expand the scheme further to bring in tenant farmers under this particular scheme. What government is saying now, so we had already included lots of farmers, whether it is a small farmers or a marginal section farmers, or all farmers who has the land. But tenant farmers ಉಳುಮೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರ ಹೊಲನ ಬಾಡಿಗೆಗೆ ತಗೊಂಡು, okay, they used to take a rental land, they used to cultivate and harvest the crops and everything. For them we do call it as a tenant farmers. Okay, ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ರೈತರು ಅಂತ ಕರೆಯಲಾಗುತ್ತೆ. So we should not have to include all of them in this particular scheme. The government has already cleared in the parliament. Okay, so what they are trying to say here. So let's see what the first table is saying in particular. The allocation for the scheme and the amount transferred since 2018 to 19. See, what is the allocation has been done under this particular scheme in the year 2019-20, 75,000, and now 24 to 25 in this particular year they had allocated only 60,000. So farmers, what they want, there were number of beneficiaries at the time of select installments of payment is, again, number of beneficiaries, is it decreasing or increasing? Try to know it. Okay, so it's all about the information, not important. All these numberings are not important for your exam point of view, but you need to know whether it is increasing or whether it is decreasing. Try to focus on that. This tabular column will help you to get through, like you will get a statements like farmers number under this particular scheme is increasing or decreasing. So try to have a clear picture about it. Okay, farmers have been demanding a hike in their annual payout. They need a hike, incremental things they want on an annual basis. Okay, annual payment level. While considering this, the government should incentivize those who efficiently use water, electricity and other inputs during the production. Government is including or incentivize all those farmers who will use all those water, electricity and other inputs during the production time. So they need certain incremental hike in the annual payment so that their income will be increased. Okay, their lifestyle will be in a good level under this PM Kissan scheme. Try to remember, okay, what PM Kissan, as the name itself indicates, it is related to farmer. Kisan is a word in Hindi. The meaning would be farmer. Okay, all the farmers has been included. So what led to the Azerbaijan? Have you know where it is located? Try to comment in the comment section below. Okay, I hope you'll do that. Okay, let's do discuss what led to the Azerbaijan airline jet crash. What happened? Why this crash? We can able to see in today's newspaper. The website of this Azerbaijan Airlines, it says about airline and aviation, which is a member of the IATA, that is International Air Transport Association, and one more is ICAO, is in full compliance with the ICAO, that is International Civil Aviation Organization. These two organizations are having an association to one another, IATA with ICAO. These are related to airlines and aviation. Try to remember whenever these particular organization has been included in any of the option or the statement, you try to figure it out. Okay, this is important altogether. And now we are moving on to the topic related stuff. Why this crash happened? What was the reason behind it? ಏನು ಕಾರಣ ಇರಬಹುದು crash ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ Azerbaijan Airlines? Spoofing, that is spoofing in the sense, what is the meaning of spoofing? Sending false signals. So airlines always work, okay, airlines always work based on the signals only. It will move based on the signals. Someone will guide them in which direction they have to take further movement and everything. It is completely dependent on the signals. And jamming is another term, okay. It do a blocking or disrupting signal. Spoofing is a term which is used for sending a false signals, so that it will change its direction. It will deviate its direction, so that it will go in the wrong direction. That is called as spoofing. Again, jamming is a word. It defines blocking or disrupting signals. It disrupts certain signals, it interrupts certain signals, okay. It will block certain signals and can have severe impacts on aviation safety. Of course, it have a severe impact on the aviation safety and security, particularly on the navigation and communication systems. And again, we do have certain satellites under these technologies. These technologies could interfere with global navigation satellite systems, and example GPS, ADS-B and transponder signals and communication systems. Very important. Spoofing and jamming were the important words under Azerbaijan air crash. Understood? So we'll move on to the next article. This is what is important in this particular article. Let's move to the rat hole mining. Why this practice continues in spite of its hazards? It has been banned in the region called as Meghalaya, okay, due to the environmental impacts and everything. So it is completely banned, but still there were certain regions where in those state they'll do illegal mining even after doing a banning, okay, even after done by the government. Summary: rat hole mining incident in Assam's Dima Hazau district. There was an incident recently first week of Jan, last week, on 6th Jan 2025, there were 9 workers were trapped in this flooded coal mine. Kalliddalu gadiyalli ಪ್ರವಾಹದಿಂದ 9 ಜನ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಸಿವಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಗಾಯ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಇಂಜುರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. And these bodies of 4 workers have been recovered. Now they are recovering and rescue operation still continues. This particular incident, what it highlights is the dangers of rat hole mining, which is very dangerous, okay. ಗಣಿಗಾರಿಕೆ, ರ್ಯಾಟ್ ಹೋಲ್ ಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದರೆ ರ್ಯಾಟ್ ಹೋಲ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ರ್ಯಾಟ್ ಹೋಲ್? ಚಿಕ್ಕದಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸುರಂಗ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅ ಟನಲ್, ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಟನಲ್. ಓನ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ hardly go into this tunnel by scrolling, okay, like that. What is rat hole mining? So the same thing, whatever I said, it is a primitive mining method involving narrow tunnels. It is very short, narrow, barely large enough for miners to crawl. Only one person can go and they have to scroll, okay, crawl ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ನ್ಯಾರೋ ಟನಲ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ತುಂಬ ಚಿಕ್ಕದಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ಸುರಂಗ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ವೆರಿ ನ್ಯಾರೋ ಟನಲ್. ಓನ್ಲಿ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ scroll and go into that particular area. And there were two methods or two types. One is called as side cutting and another one is called as box cutting. Side cutting, tunnels follow coal seams visible on hill slopes. If there is a tunnel, if they can able to see a coal over there, then they'll cut that tunnel. Wherever they can see a coal, they'll cut that tunnel on the hilly slopes. And second one is box cutting, circular or square level ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, they'll pits or dig around deep 400 feet deep, 400 feet ಆಳವಾಗಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಡಿಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆ ಥರ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ವಿತ್ ಮೈನಸ್ ಡಿಗ್ಗಿಂಗ್ ಹಾರಿಸಾಂಟಲಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಪಿಟ್ಸ್ ಎಡ್ಜ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಪಿಟ್ ಇದೇನು 400 feet ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಕ್ವೈರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಲೆವೆಲಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಪಿಟ್ಸ್ ಎಡ್ಜನ್ನು ಹಾರಿಜಾಂಟಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಡಿಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಕಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಡಿಗ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂತುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಹೆಜಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಏನೇನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್, ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಹೆಜಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನೌ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದಿಸ್ rat hole mining. So what were the hazards involved in this particular mining? First one is asphyxiation due to poor ventilation. There is no oxygen involved in that particular tunnel because which is very narrow thing. Okay, narrow tunnel. So poor ventilation, you will not get a proper ventilation over there, and collapses from lack of structural support. If structural support engineers are not working in a well manner, it may collapse, it may fall anytime. And third hazard would be flooding during rainy season. During rainy season, flooding is a very common thing you can get to see in those particular mining area. Okay, as it is very narrow. And why is this rat hole mining banned? What is the reason? First one, due to legislation challenges. Okay, Meghalaya, what happened, landowners hardly control the land and minerals, making regulations quite difficult. It's very difficult to make a provisions even after doing all this banning and everything. They again started doing the rat hole mining and everything. Second one is environmental impact. Okay, environmental impact, it will leads to a land degradation, deforestation. You'll remove all the trees nearby while doing all these mining thing. And third would be river pollution. Okay, maximum river Lukha and Mintdu became acidic in nature, and all the aquatic submarines or aquatic animals are in a deep sort of a danger zone. In a danger zone we can do expect, as it became quite acidic in nature. ಓಕೆ, ರಿವರ್ ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ನದಿಗಳ ಮಾಲಿನ್ಯತೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಡಿಫಾರೆಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಕಾಡಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಮರ ಗಿಡಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡಿತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಥರ್ಡ್ ವುಡ್ ಬಿ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಹೇಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಹೌ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಡೂ ಆಕರ್ಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್? ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ ಲೇಬರಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಡನ್, ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಡನ್, ಕಳ್ಳ ಸಾಗಣೆ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, ಬಾಲಕಾರ್ಮಿಕತೆ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, ವಿತ್ ಮೆನಿ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ವೇ ಫ್ರಮ್ ನೇಪಾಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬಾಂಗ್ಲಾದೇಶ್ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ವರ್ಕ್, ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ mining. So National Green Tribunal, what it says, NGT completely banned rat hole mining in the region called as Meghalaya due to the environmental concern. Okay, environmental hazards or environmental concerns. Okay, try to remember, very important article. Try to remember Meghalaya, Assam is one such due to this flooded rain. So we had discussed about third hazard, no? Flooding during rainy season. Due to this, recently Assam got that bad incident recently on January 6th. Next comes Maha Kumbam Mela. We were talking about Maha Kumbam begins on Monday. Okay, 15 million pilgrims gather for Shahi Snan. Okay, devotees, bhaktadigalella ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, devotees all the way from across the world, they are gathered in the Prayagraj Sangam on Paush Purnima for the first Shahi Snan of the 45-day event. ಇದು 45-day event ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So, and most importantly, it occurs once in a 144 years. Very important. So many people do come and attend this particular Kumbh Mela. Very important. Kumbh Mela is different. Maha Kumbh Mela is different. Ardha Kumbh Mela is different. Maha Kumbh Mela and half Kumbh Mela and Kumbh Mela all are different from one another. Okay, every 14 years once we can get to see this Maha Kumbh Mela, and very auspicious moment in Prayagraj, UP, Uttar Pradesh. So let's moving on to the important article. Very small one, but we do have a beautiful description over here in this particular article. India in a cyclical slowdown. Okay, India facing a cyclical slowdown. India is going through a cyclical growth slowdown driven by fiscal consolidation. One is called as due to fiscal consolidation and second one is due to slower credit growth on macro-prudential tightening of consumer loans by the Reserve Bank of India, which is said in this particular report called as Goldman Sachs report. Let's see what was that. Cyclical slowdown, cyclical growth slowdown. What is the meaning? Why India is facing a cyclical slowdown in the economic growth? First driver, first would be two important aspects they had said and mentioned in the article. Driver of slowdown is, one is called as fiscal consolidation efforts. It in turn reduces capital expenditure. You are expending less, okay, and thus reducing the investments, right? So ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಖರ್ಚು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ we are getting a fiscal consolidation efforts and investment is also in turn reducing due to the capital expenditure reduction. Okay. Second important driver for this is cyclical growth. Growth slowdown. What was the reason? Slower credit growth. People are not taking any sort of loans. That is called as credit growth. It is becoming slower as people are not focusing on the taking any of the loans. Okay. Due to why they are not taking? Due to the macro-prudential tightening. RBI has made tightening when it comes to macro-prudential. What is this particular term says? What is macro-prudential tightening? It refers to a regulatory measures implemented by central banks to reduce financial system risk. In this case, RBI has tightened rules on consumer loans such as stricter credit worthiness checks and higher capital requirements for banks to control excessive borrowing and potential financial instability. Let us say, see, RBI what it do under this macro-prudential tightening is, it says it has made certain tightening certain rules under this. What it say? It is asking about credit worthiness. Okay, it is asking about credit worthiness. What it term says? People are not focusing on their loans. Okay, let us say one person is doing some finance. ಅಂದರೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಫೈನಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸುವಿಧಾಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟು. ಸೊ let's take an example. One person, XYZ person, is having 2 lakhs rupees. He has a mobile of 2 lakhs rupees, and in addition to that he has a handsome amount of 4 lakhs in hand. So he wanted to start a business. In order to start or begin certain business thing, so what RBI ask about their credit worthiness. Okay, if this person cannot fit for this credit worthiness in the sense they'll see all the societal aspects and everything. Based on that, they'll say if you are not fit for this credit worthiness, you are not allowed to do any sort of a business. If let us say XYZ person is doing certain job, okay, any sort of a small financial job, okay, so if a government is saying okay, you are getting a salary also in addition to that, whatever you are doing finance business, then your it will be auto deducted from your salary. Okay, if this sort of an without seeing any credit worthiness, they'll not see any sort of societal level of image towards this particular person when it comes to their business, right? So here they are not checking any sort of credit worthiness. It's very easy. Okay, if RBI is tightening when it comes to all these loans and they are checking the credit worthiness, then in that particular case this person can't afford and do that particular business. That's how people are afraid to take the loans, and it's slowly becoming we are seeing a cyclical growth slowdown in Indian economy. Understood? That is what important for the that particular small article. It is quite small but very informative in nature. UK, Mauritius cite progress in Chago Islands discussion. Okay, what they are saying. See, UK United Kingdom, Mauritius. Site progress in Chago's Islands discussions. We are talking about Chago's Island. Earlier what happened, what was the issue here is Chago's Island was under the capture of UK, that is Britain. Okay, Britain has got a control over Chago's Islands. Earlier it has captured this, though it is a part of Mauritius. But now what Britain is saying is, I'll hand over this Chago's Island to Mauritius, but you have to give the control of your military base, especially on Diego Garcia. This Diego Garcia is the largest island of the Chago's archipelago in the Indian Ocean. Okay, it is the largest island of Chago's archipelago. So they want a control of this military base. So Britain people are ready to give Chago's Island back to Mauritius. Okay. So that is what the discussion is going, and before Trump is taking a charge of President of USA, so they wanted to resolve this particular issue, because he is not in favor of this particular article or this particular thing what Britain, UK and Mauritius is doing certain agreements. Let's see what happens in future days. Next important article is Jeff Bezos space company calls off. There is a delay. Calls off in the sense due to some technical issue or technical trouble, it has got delayed. Debut launch of massive rocket in 11th hour. Massive rocket, what is that massive new rocket name is called as New Glenn rocket, which is of 98 meter long. Okay, so there was a company called as Jeff Bezos. He is an Amazon founder. He has formed his company called Blue Origin 20-25 years ago. Long ago he has formed this particular company called as Blue Origin. Very important for your prelims perspective. He wanted to launch a new rocket called as New Glenn record. Okay, due to certain technical issues it has got delayed. Where he wanted to launch Florida's Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. Okay, it is located in USA. Okay, US. Florida's Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, here where he wanted to launch this particular massive new rocket called as New Glenn rocket. Why this New Glenn rocket name came? So New Glenn this particular name came from the first American to orbit Earth called as John Glenn. Very important. Blue Origin, you have to remember, Amazon founder named Jeff Bezos, and there is a massive new rocket called as New Glenn rocket. This particular name came, okay, from the person called as John Glenn. He was the first American to orbit Earth, and where it about to launch, what is the location and the place? Florida's Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. Okay, next important article, very important. See, last but not the least, altogether important. So let's have a brief discussion about it. A Konkan secret, where it Konkan region you can get to see. It is in the region of Arabian Sea and this Western Ghats region. Here you can see Konkan region, Konkan secret. Okay, you can even have Malabar coast and everything. Okay, Malabar region. So Konkan secret, the flat top Sada or Sada, you can pronounce it however you want it to. It is a freshwater paradise. Let's see what they are talking about here. Konkan region located between the Arabian Sea on one side, right? Arabian Sea on one side and Western Ghats on the other. Okay, and it is well known for its beaches and temples. It is well known for beaches and temples both. As one, let us say one X person is traveling across the Western Ghats towards Ratnagiri district, then if you are traveling towards Ratnagiri district of Maharashtra, okay, it is located in Maharashtra. Konkan is mostly you can get to see in Maharashtra. So Thane and all those regions you can do approach. If you are traveling towards traveling across Ratnagiri district, then the landscape slowly transitions from mountain ranges standing 1,000 meters tall. You can see a mountain ranges 1,000 meters tall, okay, with steep slopes. There is a steep slope, okay, and to rolling hills with flat tops, locally called as sada. What is the meaning of sada? There is a flat top. It's just like this. Due to a soil erosion, it has got a flat topped hill, which is called as a flat topped hill is called as sada. Okay, meaning a large flat area due to the result of centuries of the erosion. Due to lots of centuries, 100 years ago, earlier we used to have this high level of largest large mountain ranges, but due to slow soil erosion, it has becoming flat topped hills called as sada. So it is just like plateau and pathar. Okay, usually it will be barren most of the years, but it got transferred during the monsoons. Okay, as the monsoons do changes, it get transformed. They are exactly similar to plateaus and which is locally called as pathar in Satara district of Maharashtra. Okay, you can see all those sort of thing. Sada is almost exactly the same, just like plateaus, which is also called as pathar. Okay, you can see in the location called as Maharashtra district named Satara, and Khas Plateau is well known example. Khas Plateau is the best example for Sada. Sada is just like Pathar, the rocky and harbor unique endemic flora, which is very important for endemic flora. Endemic flora, which is related to flower. Okay, cover it in the monsoon season. This is what is for today's discussion, and let's stay tuned, keep supporting. We'll meet up in tomorrow's class. Okay. Hope all the articles has been cleared.